Hi, my name is Jeff Boyce, and I've been a Denver Metro Realtor here for 20 plus years, moved out here from Ohio in 1979, and never looked back. I'm doing this video right now on the cost of living in the Denver metro area if you're considering relocating or moving out here in the next few months or so, or in the next 6 to 12 months or so. And in the cost of living, I'm going to talk about housing, both renting and buying homes. We're going to talk about insurance out here, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and then health insurance. We're going to talk about grocery prices out here. We're going to talk about food costs if you go out for entertaining, meals and beverages and stuff like that. We're going to hit all of the major cost of living index. So here's some interesting facts on Denver. 66% of the population in Denver is at age 44 and below. So we're actually considered a very young city, a millennial city. Really, really cool. We're actually ranked as the #1 and #2 in job growth, in unemployment. We have the lowest unemployment, and our pay here is very, very high. So for the last 5 years, U.S. News and World Report and USA Today has ranked Denver in the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5th best city to live for the last 5 years. We've never fallen out of the top 5 for the last 5 years. And the amazing thing is that our median income is $70,000 a year annual household income. And that means that half of the people in Denver make above $70,000 and the other half make below $70,000. That's very high. And here's another interesting statistic to throw in with the cost of living.
We're actually ranked the #12 city out of the top 100 major cities
for people making over $100,000 a year annual salary. That's pretty darn good. So we have not only great jobs here, but it's actually higher paying jobs too. You just can't beat that. It's so nice to live here in Colorado and in Denver itself. We've actually had a 15.8% increase in population since 2010. That's 100,000 plus people that moved here and relocated here from all across the United States and the world since 2010. Fantastic. We have fantastic weather here. It's a great place to live. We have great food, tons of entertainment and fun stuff to do. And every day when you drive to work, you get to look over to the west and see the mountains just on the west side of the Denver suburbs. But unfortunately, with 100,000 people relocating here to Denver, we also have a problem or issue with apartment and housing inventories that are so low. So it's really putting an increased pressure on if you want to come out here and rent an apartment, if you want to come out here to rent a house, or if you want to relocate out here with a job and you need to buy a house for you and your family. We actually have really low inventory of homes. Now, I've come up in the last 5 years with a proven strategy to help you find a beautiful, gorgeous home, despite the fact that you might be out here house shopping in prime time, which is late spring and summer. But if you'll call me ahead of your relocation, I promise to talk to you about how to find a beautiful home out here, despite the fact that we have very low home and housing inventory for you to look at. But it works. It's worked great for the last 5 years, and I help everybody to get into a great home. And I'll share my little strategy with you if you'll just give me a call before you relocate. Okay, let's get started with our biggest expense of them all, and that's our housing expense. The average median U.S. house is priced at $231,000, $231,000. In Denver itself, we're at $425,000. So as you can see, we're quite a bit higher than the national average on that, and it's really what makes Denver a more expensive place on your cost of living index to come here. It's almost all housing. But let's compare that though to cities like Highlands Ranch at $470,000, Parker at $480,000, and these are median prices, so that means half the homes sell above that and half the homes sell below that. Aurora is our low price value leader at $340,000, and Aurora includes the Aurora schools and the south part of Aurora, which is the Cherry Creek school systems, which are just rated fantastic. And then we have Westminster and Thornton on the north side of Denver. The average median price there is $370,000 for those cities. In Arvada, just slightly more than that. Denver is actually ranked about 23 of the major U.S. cities for the overall cost of living. So the overall cost of living in Denver compared to the other 100 cities, we're number 23. Now, although we might seem expensive from a housing standpoint, if you're coming here from Texas or Florida or New Mexico maybe, where housing prices are definitely much lower. But if you're relocating out here from California, any of the California cities, anywhere along the West Coast, including Seattle, or if you're coming from back east like Chicago or New York or any of those other East Coast cities, our housing market is actually very good here. And don't forget, as I mentioned, our median income here is $70,000 a year annual household income. We're actually more affordable here if you come out here with a better job and you're making more money. So, what about renting? What's it like to come out here if you're going to rent an apartment, you're going to rent a house? How does that affect you as compared to buying a house, which I just covered? So to give you an idea, in Denver itself, the average median price for a 2-bedroom apartment is about $1,500 a month to $1,900 a month. All right? The median price on a rental home in Denver is anywhere from $1,900 a month to $2,600 a month. That's the median, okay? Obviously there's less expensive, and obviously there's more expensive in town. The most important part of that is when you're relocating out here for a job, whether you're renting or buying, is to try to find a place that's closer to where you're going to live, to where you're going to work. That's the big secret, because Denver is a big city. We're 155 square miles here. We're not just like some little podunk downtown here. We're 155 square miles. So, the next thing I want to talk about on our cost of living is our utilities. Our water, sewer, trash, and then add in electricity and natural gas. All of our furnaces basically run on natural gas here. Our utility expenses are actually right at the national average or just slightly higher. So if you move out here, your utility expense is going to be about the same. But let's talk about that a little bit too, because here in the summer in Denver, we actually cool down at night. So you can actually turn your AC unit off at night and basically open your windows because it cools down at night, and you don't need to start it up again till later that morning or later that day. So our utility expenses in the summer are actually a lot less expensive than a lot of other cities where you have massive humidity and you have to run your AC unit from like the 1st of May until the end of September. You just don't have to do that here. We've got great climate here. 300 plus days of blue skies at 1 mile high above sea level. It's just a great place to live here in Colorado. So, what about commuting? What about gas prices in Denver? How expensive are our gas prices? We actually are right at or below the national median cost for gasoline. So right now we're at about $2.05 to $2.60 a gallon for gas. So it's actually quite inexpensive here to drive your car. What are your alternatives to driving a car? Well, Denver is actually ranked the 28th best bicycle-friendly city in 2019. It's a fantastic place to ride a bike. There's over 100 miles of bike paths and another 100 miles of like dirt bike paths around the Denver and Denver County itself. And there's hundreds of more miles in the suburban cities. So the only issue is, because Denver's so big, you're probably not going to be able to commute to work on your bike, but maybe you will to save on your expense there. Don't forget, we have about 5 months of snow, so riding a bike in the snow can be a little challenging. Our other alternative to bike riding is light rail in our transit system. And I gotta tell you what, our brand new light rail that they built here in Denver is actually fantastic. Our light rail flies. Those trains go 60, 70 miles an hour, and they will shush you from the suburbs to downtown Denver or wherever you need to be if you choose to do light rail. Our monthly annual passes on those are about $100 a month, and the light rails are super cool. We love taking them down. My family and I love jumping on those, and we'll go down in the fall. We'll catch a light rail down to the Denver Broncos game or two. We like it because we don't have to pay for expensive parking, and we can fly down there and get back relatively quick. Same thing in the spring and summer. We like going down to Coors Field and watching the Colorado Rockies play. Great to jump on the light rail then. It flies downtown. You don't have to worry about parking, and you just take a train back to where you park your car. Fantastic. So, you're going to work all week and you're busting your hump at work. So let's go blow off some steam and let's go out for dinner. Let's go grab a beer, a glass of wine. Let's go get some food and let's have some fun. Let's talk about the food and beer in Denver. I really love the outdoor patios. Lots of them in the summer have live music. That's fantastic. And all the great food and microbrewed beers there are just the best. Denver is actually known as the Napa Valley of beer, with over 148 plus breweries and microbrew restaurants in town. That's just in Denver alone. This is the Mecca where it all started, with the Colorado Gold Rush in 1873 and Coors Brewing. We also have New Belgium, Fat Tire, Odell's, and a Budweiser plant. Plus, Colorado produces 53,000 acres of hops and over 50,000 acres of barley for just beer production alone. Every September, the Great American Beer Festival comes to downtown Denver and has 60,000 plus attendees, tasting a variety of new brands and different styles of micro beers in downtown Denver. Now, going out to dinner in Denver, let's talk about that. The average cost is about $50 per couple, and I'll give you an idea of that. We just went out to the Breckenridge Brewery about a week ago with my family. On the menu, we had gourmet cheese bacon burgers starting at about $11, and then working the way up, we had half roasted chickens and vegetables and a homemade meatloaf with mashed potatoes and gravy. Those averaged $11 to $18, and the beers were either $5 or $6 a piece for a pint. So you're looking at about $41 for a couple, plus you've got tip and taxes on that. So our food prices are actually pretty comparable here in Denver. We're just slightly over the national average, and if you love food and consider yourself a foodie, you're going to love Denver. Actually, Wallet Hub named Denver the best foodie city in the United States, and we rank number 15 by them. Now you can see why everyone wants to relocate to Denver. Our food, our entertainment, our weather, our jobs, and everything is fantastic in Denver. Now, if you stay at home and you'd want to go grocery shopping, our grocery prices are right on the national average. We're just slightly above the 50 percentile mark for cost of groceries at the supermarket. And that includes Whole Foods and Sprouts, in addition to all of our other local grocery stores. Our food prices are comparable. Our state and local taxes are at about 7%, which means if you go through the drive-thru and you buy a Coke for $2, when you go to pay for it, it's $2.14. So our taxes are actually pretty decent here at 7%. Our property taxes here, if you buy a house, are actually very, very low. Incredibly, we're rated number 3 out of 100 cities, the top 100 biggest cities. We're number 3 in the cheapest property tax here in Denver. And that's probably because we have a state income tax. But to give you an idea, a $425,000 average Denver home, medium price home, your property taxes per year are only going to be about $2,100 to $2,200 average. Some quite a bit lower, some quite a bit higher. Now, let's talk about it, because we do have a state income tax here, and that does add to your cost of living expense. we're at a 4.63% rate, which simply means that if you made $100,000 a year, you would pay the state of Colorado $4,630. But if you itemize on your taxes and you do a Schedule A and you write off your closing costs, your expenses, your interest expenses, you can actually write off your $4,630 for your state income tax. So your state income tax may not cost you anything here at all. The next thing is our auto insurance and our homeowner's insurance on your home. We actually have rates here on your auto insurance and your homeowner's insurance that's actually slightly higher than the national average, and that's just simply because over the last 5 or 6 years we've had some big windstorms and hailstorms here. So we've had some hail damaged roofs and we've had some hail damaged cars and broken windows. So fortunately, you are going to have a slightly higher expense on your auto and homeowners. Finally, let's talk about healthcare costs. Amazingly, out of the top 50 states, Colorado ranks 47th for the actual expense of out-of-pocket healthcare costs. So we actually rank at the very, very bottom for healthcare costs, okay? The amazing other part of that is we rank number 3 for the best health care and the best health care outcomes when you actually go do see a doctor. So fantastic if you're relocating here, thinking about starting a family, or you've already got kids here. We're actually a great place for health care and medical coverage here in the Denver and the whole Colorado area. Maybe that's because we're a mile high above sea level and we get less oxygen per breath. I don't know what it is, but our healthcare here, people just seem healthier. We've always been rated as one of the healthiest cities in the United States, and that's probably got a lot to do with it too. Now I want to finish here talking about some of the other suburban cities around Denver that actually may have some cost of living well below what Denver itself is. So let's take a look at the chart here, and as you can clearly see, the lighter the color of paint, the less expensive it is. So if you take a look at the cities to the north of Denver, they're quite a bit less expensive to live in. Those are the cities of like Arvada and Westminster and Broomfield. Then on the other side of 25, we've got Thornton up there and Commerce City that are very less expensive. To the east, we've got Aurora, and it's one of the best value price, low price cities to live with. And then Lakewood to the west is also less expensive than the Denver metro area. Again, reach out to me anytime. I've been a realtor here for 20 plus years, and like I said, I've lived here since 1979. I've probably driven every single street and boulevard and cul-de-sac up and down 50 or 100 times showing homes here for the last 20 years. So if you've got questions on your relocation, don't be bashful, call me. I will be glad to take your calls. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have about the Denver metro area. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my videos. I do a lot of videos on the Denver metro area and the cities, pros and cons of living in certain areas, and the best neighborhoods and best value for your money, depending on what your job is when you relocate out here. Again, call me if you want to find a newer home. I know where to find those. A newer remodeled home, or a home with a big fenced yard, or a full finished basement if you want a man cave. We actually have basements here in Colorado. We don't have flooding or water problems. Or if you want to, like I said, a new home builder construction, or if you want to know where the better school districts are. There are a lot of different parts of town that you may not be familiar with that I am, and I might be able to point you in a great part of town that you never considered living in, and you might just love it. Again, I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, please, if you like it or not. And then, like I said, do some comments down below, or call, text, or email me at any time, and I'll be glad to help you too with your relocation here. Thanks. My name's Jeff Boyce. Hope I can help you too.